When you hear the term express train, you probably think of this. But in reality, the term express train normally refers to a train that travels from one station to another by skipping several smaller stations. This can actually be seen in the world of the New York subway, which makes that system all the more confusing to a Londoner like myself. But here, in this video, we are going to talk about the Heathrow Express that links Paddington Station with Heathrow Airport, and we're going to answer the question whether this system is actually the best way to get to and from the airport, and compare it to the other modes of transport and how a changing transport network in London has affected its usability. Before we talk about the Heathrow Express, I will use the example of the Airport Express in Hong Kong to describe a perfect airport express system. Hong Kong's airport was formerly located in Kowloon, but was moved to a new site just off Lantau Island in 1998, due to the old airport being too small. However, it is located 16 miles away from Hong Kong Island, and despite having new roads and bridges to serve it, a faster way was needed to link it with the city. The airport opened with an express railway that ran from it via two intermediate stations at Tsing Yi and Kowloon to Hong Kong Island, cutting the 40-minute car journey to 24 minutes, and is fully integrated with the city's MTR metro system. This is an example of an effective airport rail link to a city centre. Now, I have covered the Heathrow Express in some capacity in two of my videos already, so I will leave links to both of them in the description if you want to check them out. But here's the story of the Express. In the early 1990s, British Rail and BAA agreed to build two new tunnels underneath the airport, linking it with the Great Western Main Line out of London Paddington, to relieve pressure on the Piccadilly line, which had been serving the airport since the 1970s. This system opened on June 23, 1998, with two new underground stations serving Heathrow's 4 terminals. This private service was originally named Heathrow Fast Train and ran to a temporary station called Heathrow Junction. If you want to know more about it, I already have a video on it. The original route had trains travel from Paddington to a junction just to the west of Hayes and Harlington Station, at which point it then dived into twin tunnels and stopped at a station serving terminals 1, 2 and 3, and then continued along a single track to a station serving Terminal 4, with the journey taking roughly 15 minutes. For 6 years, this was the only service that used these new underground tunnels. Eventually, in 2005, a subsidiary service was launched under the name Heathrow Connect, which ran on the same route but acted as a normal commuter train, stopping at all stations between the airport and Paddington. When Terminal 5 opened in 2008, with a new station underneath it, it became mainly served by Heathrow Express trains, with the Connect exclusively running to Terminal 4. The Heathrow Connect service was eventually taken over by TfL in 2018, with its original fleet of Class 360-0 trains being replaced by Class 345 trains and is now part of the Elizabeth line. The Express has also had a change of rolling stock in 2020 when the original Class 332 trains were replaced with Class 387 Electrostars. Now we've covered the historical context, let's look at all the different ways of getting to the airport and seeing whether the Heathrow Express is actually, quote, the fastest way to central London. For this, I will be showing prices for journeys between the airport and Paddington. According to the Express website, an adult standard class ticket costs £25, with a first class ticket costing £7 more. For comparison, a pre-booked taxi, according to one website I visited, will cost around £103. This makes the Express sound pretty worthwhile, but when it comes to other rail options, it's less competitive. Although they are part of the same fare network, the Piccadilly and Elizabeth lines do have differing fares. Currently, it costs £5.50 to use the London Underground between Paddington and Heathrow, with the same journey costing £11.50 on the Elizabeth line, although next month these fares will change. Do also bear in mind that transfer between different terminals at the airport on all 3 railways is free. On the Express and Elizabeth line, special tickets are also issued. So, With this information, if you want to be economical with your journey, then the Piccadilly line is probably the best way to go, as it's the cheapest when it comes to fares. But when it comes to the two larger mainline railways, it's a completely different story. Firstly, paying £13 extra for a non-stop train to a railway station that is located on the fringe of the city is a little bit steep. However, in the days of the Connect service, the only difference between the two was that the Connect stopped at all intermediate stations. However, today, the Elizabeth line can take you directly with one train through central London all the way out to the Docklands in the east. This makes it way more practical as being a cheaper and more efficiently located system that links the airport and the centre of London. Also, if you want to travel to Terminal 4 directly, you still have to transfer through to the Elizabeth line at Terminals 2 and 3. To conclude this video, the Heathrow Express to me seems like a rather overpriced system, despite the fact it is indeed the fastest way into London from the airport. The fact that the Elizabeth line, despite having a longer journey time into Paddington, can get you from one side of the city to the other in less than an hour demonstrates to me that the Heathrow Express, with its termini on the edge of the West End, is not the most efficient way of getting to the airport due to cost and the constant connections you have to make, especially if you wish to go to Terminal 4. So I would say that the Heathrow Express is not the best way to the airport. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.